Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I don't feel like myself anymore? Maybe it's not even about how you look, but more about how you feel inside. Like something's shifted. Like your spark isn't quite as bright as it once was. You're still you, but maybe you don't feel as confident, as steady, or as motivated as you used to. If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. And let me tell you something important right now. It's not your age that's the problem. It's the way we've been taught to think about aging. Because for decades, society has fed us a quiet message that getting older means slowing down, stepping back, fading into the background. But you know what? That message is wrong. Getting older doesn't mean losing who you are. It means rediscovering who you've always been, but with more wisdom, more freedom, and more clarity. And that starts with one simple but powerful truth. Confidence isn't something you lose with age. It's something you can grow if you shift the way you think. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 mindset shifts, simple changes in how you think and see yourself that can completely change how you feel about aging. And not in a rah-rah motivational way. These are real, practical, grounded shifts that help you walk taller, speak clearer, and move through the world with that quiet confidence that says, I'm still here, and I still matter. Let's start with something that holds so many people back, believing that your best years are behind you. Now think about that for a second. How many times have you heard people say things like, those were the good old days, or if only I was younger? Those phrases might sound harmless, but they plant a seed, a belief that life somehow peaked at 40 or 50, and now you're on the decline. But let me ask you this. Who says your best days are behind you? Who decided that? The truth is, your best days are the ones you choose to fully show up for. It doesn't matter if you're 65, 75, or 85. If you wake up with purpose, curiosity, and a willingness to grow, then today can be better than yesterday. One of the most inspiring things I've learned from people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s is that the moment they let go of the idea that youth equals value, their confidence started to return. They stopped comparing themselves to younger versions of themselves and started embracing who they are now, right now. So here's your first mindset shift. Your future can be just as meaningful, fulfilling, and exciting as your past, if you allow it to be. You haven't run out of time. You've arrived at a new chapter, and you get to decide how that chapter unfolds. Now let's talk about another shift that changes everything. Stop thinking of aging as losing, and start seeing it as gaining. Sure, maybe you've slowed down a little. Maybe your knees creak, or your memory slips now and then. But you've also gained something far more valuable than speed or stamina. You've gained experience, you've gained resilience, you've gained a deeper understanding of what really matters. Confidence grows when you stop focusing on what you can't do, and start celebrating what you can do, and who you've become in the process. Think about it. Would you trade the wisdom, the perspective, the strength you've earned over the years, just to be 30 again? Most people wouldn't. Because even though the world worships youth, the truth is, there's a quiet power in aging that younger people haven't even tasted yet. You've lived through loss, joy, disappointment, triumph. You've seen trends come and go. You've built relationships, made mistakes, learned lessons, and kept going, and you're still here. That's not weakness. That's strength. So instead of shrinking yourself down to fit some outdated idea of what aging gracefully means, why not stand taller in the knowledge of everything you've gained? That leads us beautifully into another shift, one that so many people never even realize they need to make. And it's this: stop apologizing for getting older. You know what I mean? Those little jokes, oh, I'm having a senior moment, or at my age I don't even bother trying, or I know I'm old-fashioned. We've all said things like that at some point, and it's easy to laugh it off. But every time you make yourself the punchline, even casually, you're chipping away at your own confidence. Because here's the truth, there's nothing to apologize for. Getting older is not a mistake, it's not an inconvenience, it's a privilege. And when you own your age, instead of excusing it or laughing it away, you send a powerful message to yourself and everyone around you. I'm still valuable, I'm still wise, and I'm still capable of growing. That mindset shift alone, from apologizing to owning, can change the way people treat you, because when you carry yourself with quiet pride, the world sees you differently. And more importantly, you see yourself differently. We've already talked about how powerful it is to let go of the belief that your best years are behind you, to see aging as something you're gaining, not losing, and to stop apologizing for the number of candles on your birthday cake. Those shifts alone can already make you feel more grounded, more respected, and more in control. But there's another one that can completely reshape how you show up in your daily life. And it starts with a question. Are you still saying yes to yourself? Because what happens to so many people after 60 is they start putting themselves second or third, or not even on the list at all. Maybe it's out of habit. Maybe it's because family needs you, or you've gotten used to accommodating others. Or maybe, deep down, part of you feels like it's too late to start something new for you. But here's the shift. Stop waiting for permission to live fully, and start giving that permission to yourself. You don't need anyone else's approval to do what brings you joy. You don't need to check with someone before learning something new, traveling somewhere you've always wanted to go, or even starting a side project that lights you up. Confidence grows when you stop asking, "Am I too old for this?" and start saying, "Why not now?" Aging with confidence means giving yourself the green light, to explore, to express, to evolve. You want to learn Spanish at 70? Do it. Take painting classes at 75? Wonderful. Start a walking group in your neighborhood at 80? Please do. Because when you say yes to yourself, you're not just adding joy to your life. You're reminding yourself that your time is still your own. Now here's another shift that might seem small, but it's one of the most important of all. Stop comparing yourself to who you used to be, and start honoring who you are now. Let's face it, we've all done it. Looked at old photos and thought, wow, I used to look so young, so fit, so full of energy. Or remembered how fast you could move, how sharp your memory was, how strong your body felt. That's normal, it's human. But what's not helpful, what slowly chips away at your confidence, is getting stuck in that comparison. Because here's the thing, you are not who you were at 40, but you're not supposed to be. You're different now. You've lived more. You've loved more. You've learned more. And in many ways you've grown into a wiser, more grounded, more intentional version of yourself. Instead of mourning who you were, celebrate who you've become. Maybe you don't move as fast, but you move with more care. Maybe you forget a name now and then, but you remember what really matters. Maybe your face has changed, but it's a face that's seen life, that's smiled through joy and endured through hardship. That's not something to hide, that's something to honor. When you shift from longing for the past to valuing the present, you reclaim your power. You stop chasing a version of yourself that no longer exists, and start embracing the incredible person you are today. Confidence doesn't come from trying to be young again. It comes from being fully you, right now, with no apologies. And that brings us to something beautiful. When you let go of comparison, when you stop waiting for permission, and when you own your worth, not despite your age but because of it, you don't just feel confident, you become a source of confidence for others. Your energy starts to inspire people, your presence becomes calming, your voice carries more weight, and people look at you and think, if they can live with that kind of strength and joy at their age, maybe I can too. That's what this is really about, not just aging with confidence for yourself, but becoming a living example of what's possible. That your age is not your limit, it's your legacy. There's one more shift I want to share with you, and it might just be the most important one of all. It's the shift that ties everything together. And it's one that so many people miss. It's this, stop trying to prove yourself to others, and start showing up fully for yourself. Let me explain. Throughout life, we're conditioned to prove our worth. When we're young, we try to prove we're smart enough, strong enough, successful enough. We chase approval, status, praise, and for a while, maybe that feels like the goal, to be seen, validated, celebrated. But here's the truth. The older you get, the less any of that really matters. What matters most isn't what other people think of you. It's what you think when you wake up each day and look in the mirror. Do you feel aligned with who you are? Are you proud of how you live? Do you treat yourself with kindness, dignity, and respect? Because that's what confidence really is. It's not loud, it doesn't need attention. It's a quiet knowing that says, I'm enough, as I am. You don't need to prove anything anymore. Not to your children, not to your partner, not to society. You've already lived through decades of challenges, of milestones, of learning and growing. You've already earned your seat at the table. So now, you get to focus on something deeper. You get to live your life from the inside out. Wear what makes you feel good. Speak your truth with kindness. Spend time with people who energize you, not just out of obligation. Say no when something doesn't serve you. Say yes to what lights you up. That's not selfish. That's self-respect. Aging with confidence is about stepping into your full self without shrinking, apologizing, or performing. You've done the work. You've lived the life. And now, you get to enjoy the richness of it. And look, I get it. There are still going to be hard days. Days when your body doesn't cooperate. Days when the world feels too fast, too loud, or too dismissive. Days when you might feel a little invisible or forgotten. But those moments don't define you. What defines you is how you show up anyway. What defines you is the decision, every single day, to treat yourself with compassion, to keep learning, and to keep growing, not because you're trying to stay young, but because you love being alive. And that energy, it's contagious. People feel it when you walk into a room. They feel it when you speak, when you listen, when you share your stories. You become not just a person who's aged well, but someone who shows others how it's done. With grace, with grit, with joy. So let's just take a breath and remind ourselves of the truth. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are not less valuable because you've changed. You are more experienced, more capable, more worthy than ever. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And you build it one choice at a time. A choice to stop chasing youth and start honoring wisdom. A choice to show up for yourself every day. A choice to speak kindly to the person staring back at you in the mirror. If this message speaks to you, I want you to do something simple today. Write one thing you're proud of. Just one. Say it out loud. Share it in the comments. Let yourself feel it. And if you're watching this and thinking, I needed this today, then please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and pass it along to someone else who could use a little reminder of their strength too. This community exists to lift you up, to remind you that aging is not the end of something, it's the beginning of something new. You're not fading, you're evolving. You're not past your prime. You are entering your power, and most importantly, you're not alone. You're part of a growing group of people who are redefining what it means to age. Here's to living boldly, loving fully, and aging with unshakable confidence. I'll see you in the next one.